Connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only on Financial News and Talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. And you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You know, it's an odd thing, though, because today's National Candy Day. Now, I could have understood it if it was Halloween, National Candy Day, or the day after Halloween, National Candy Day. I'll eat candy any day, but some people might be getting a little tired of candy right now. Nah, not at all. We don't. We never get tired of candy. We're always ready for a little more candy. Let's just keep on bringing it on. So we'll stick with National Candy Day today. I don't know how we would even talk about National Traffic Professionals Day. Doing traffic. I mean, of course, I have a long commute. When I go over to the office, it's about 7 or 8 minutes. No freeways, thank goodness. If I'm broadcasting from the home office, well, it's only about 10 or 12 feet. So my idea of the only time I really enjoy traffic, I don't enjoy traffic, but it is fascinating to watch the car chases. Yeah, that last one that we had here in Southern California, though, that was a little nutty. Did you see that lady? Josh, I don't know if these things get to you. The lady out here driving over 100 miles an hour in a electric vehicle and rolls the thing up near Castaic. Didn't turn out too well for her. A different meaning for lights out. I digress. So let's see what the markets are doing today. They are choppy, to say the least. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 387 points. The S&P 500 is down 28. The NASDAQ down 83. Oil's up $1.75 a barrel. And the 10-year Treasury down 10 basis points. It's 430, we'll call it. Why is all this stuff happening today? Well, the elections. I'm just saying there's a lot of question marks as to what's happening in the elections. And you watch and you see in the markets, these are the people that are putting their money where their mouth is. So you wonder a little bit about what do they know that maybe the rest of us don't know. And hard to say, but I would say that the two most accurate pollsters, not from personal opinions, just from the numbers. It was Atlas Intel out of Brazil. They were off by 2.2% in the last election. And Trafalgar, they were off by 2.8% in the last election. Both of them are showing that Trump should win. Then you look over and you say, okay, what are the markets saying? Well, the markets have been saying right along that a lot of the stocks that would favor a Trump victory have been going up. And I see today United Health Group down 9 points. That's also one. And I don't understand exactly why United Health would not be excited about a Trump win, because Kamala Harris already said that she wants socialized medicine. Medicare for all is what she's told everybody. Or at least that was the last thing she said, because who knows what the next thing will be. And ask her, and I did notice this morning that there were some people yesterday asked her how she voted on Proposition 36 here in California. If you're not familiar, Proposition 36 is the one that says criminals go to jail. They have to have consequences. And Kamala Harris wouldn't answer the question, so I wonder what that tells anybody. But when we see the bond market going up, what that usually is going to tell us is that that is a flight to safety. When the bonds go down, the yields go up. When the yields go down, that means the bonds went up. So when I look at the 10-year Treasury going down 10 basis points, that means that the bond itself is going up, which means there's more demand than there is supply. Now, why would that be? Well, if one were to believe that whoever is elected, and it doesn't matter who your choice is, you're probably making a choice based on some sort of logic, I hope. Well, the logic might be that the economy might get better regardless of who you select. Well, if the economy gets better, then we should see the yield on the 10-year Treasuries drop. Well, if you could lock in a 4.3% yield on a 10-year Treasury, that's good because it's safe. You're not worried about your money. You know that especially if you're older, you don't care as much about rapid growth as you care about protection. You don't want your money you want to lose money. You're not in that wealth accumulation phase of life. You just want to see, okay, am I going to get more than inflation? Well, a 4.3 on a 10-year Treasury could be. Now, why would people be going into a 10-year Treasury? Well, maybe it's because they've been locked into a money market, and a lot of the money markets have been paying right around 5%. Well, we're looking at later this week, we should see a Fed funds discount rate cut, and that will affect what the money markets do. If those numbers start coming down as far as the yield, the interest rate, you might be looking pretty good at that 4.3. Now, if those yields start coming down, well, that means it's because the bond went up. So you might even say, okay, I'm going to buy those bonds because they're going to pay 4.3 for the next 10 years. Well, if the yields come down, that means the price goes up. So that means if you sell the bond, you're going to sell it for more money. I know it sounds confusing, but the bottom line is you want more money, don't you? That's all we're really looking at right there. And that's the whole concept of that flight to safety. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is a fixer-upper home right for you? We'll talk about it. Underconsumption, a modern strategy to take control of your finances, building financial habits that stick. All that and more. You can reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
As the economy slows, do you know anyone worried about job loss? At Siegel Lending Team, we offer the Home Select Loan. Think of it as a financial superhero cape for homeowners with good income and credit. It not only saves your home, but also throws a life ring to your credit score. Because who needs stress when you can have peace of mind? Let's secure your future with a smile. Visit rsrhomeselect.com. rsrhomeselect.com. NMLS 217037.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. What did the transactions, the rates lock at on Friday? Well, conventional 30-year fixed, 6.756. That was down. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 6.95. That was up. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.445. That was up. VA 30-year fixed, 6.26. That was down. USDA rural areas, generally no down payment, 30-year fixed, 6.379. That was down. Want me to tell you how you can get 1 or 2% off on any one of those rates I just shared with you? Stick around, we'll tell you. If you want our market thoughts every morning as early as the data allows, rsrlinks.com/market minute, rsrlinks.com/market minute. We do give you what our thoughts are each and every morning, each and every business day morning. Again, as early as the data allows, and we can get the report put together. rsrlinks.com/market minute. Let's see what the rates are, what's happening in the markets today. Let's see, we've got the S&P 500 now is down 24.7. 10-year Treasury down 10 basis points, 4.29. Mortgage-backed securities, those are up 26 basis points. Remember, when the bond goes up, the rates go down. Why is all of this happening? Well, it's all leading up to a lot of news this week. So we've got the election tomorrow. It might drive some of the news companies nuts because there's a lot of questions as to whether we'll have an outcome tomorrow night. And boy, every news station is going to be running programming all night long with guess who breathed, inhaled, and guess who exhaled, and all of that stuff. So we're going to be watching all of that for you. Who knows if we'll have an answer by tomorrow night or not. So after a 4-week period that saw Trump trade dominate, which was good for stock and bad for bonds, Kamala Harris saw some momentum over the weekend, and we're seeing the reverse of some of those trades this morning. Only one thing is certain. It's a tight race, and there will likely be a lot of volatility this week, especially with the Fed also meeting and releasing their statement and decision on Thursday. And I'm going to tell you what their decision is going to be right now. You don't even need to watch what they say Thursday. So I had been forecasting that there would be a 50 basis point cut. Unfortunately, I am not going to be correct. It's going to be 25 basis points. Why do I know that? Why do I have such a high confidence? Well, there was a report in the Wall Street Journal over the weekend. The Fed mole, that would be Nick Timiraos. He came out and made that comment. And whenever we hear the comments from the Fed mole, it's basically just telling us that's what's going to happen. We don't have to ask anymore. So Timiraos came out and said that we're going to have a 25 basis point cut. 98% chance on the Fed futures market says a 25 basis point cut. Inflation coming down toward the Fed's target, albeit it's not going to be a straight line. The data in the economy has been conflicting. Strong GDP data growth, strong GDP growth, strong ADP employment, weak BLS jobs report, weak beige book that the Fed considers as their business contacts against published data. A lot of chaos. But I'm going to share with you one of my favorite sources of data. And it's, again, as I've said many, many times, if you want to really get good data, you got to pay for it. And it's not going to be just coming from some of these people that are talking heads that have an agenda. And I will share with you almost every one of the folks that are on any channel, doesn't matter. MSNBC, hee haw, you know that's always going to be a progressive station. They're going to tell you everything that the progressives want to hear from you. You're going to hear on Fox News, although their ownership now, the younger generation, is not nearly as conservative as the older generation was. But I pay for a subscription to someone named Danielle DiMartino Booth. It's the Daily Feather. And she comes out with just the stats. You can interpret them however you want to interpret them. But in a report this morning, October non-farm payroll report showed a 12,000 increase, way below expectations. Private payrolls declined by 28,000. Significant job losses, even accounting for the strike-related impacts. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported that adverse weather affected 512,000 workers, though they were still counted as employed. Figure that one out. Durable goods manufacturing saw 0 revisions in employment figures, but continues to show job reductions every month, making a potential recession signal. The Institute of Supply Management's October manufacturing survey reflected sustained demand and employment contraction. Global economic weakness affects export orders, with only the food, beverage, and tobacco showing growth. Food, beverage, and tobacco. Guess those are things you have to have. Of course, they're going to grow. Staffing sector, these are the temps sector, faced a steep decline, with the October marking the worst cycle for contract job losses since the Great Recession. And Boeing, guess a strike doesn't always mean good news. They had a temporary layoffs for 17,000 employees. They made those permanent now. So not good news in a lot of different areas if you think high employment is good. So be aware, that's just what we're seeing right now. We also have Realtor.com. They've released their inventory data. Active listings are up 29.2% from last year, which sounds like a big increase. To put things in perspective, inventory is still tight in most areas and is 21% lower than pre-pandemic, more normal levels nationwide. There are now 6 states that have higher inventory levels than 2019, including Tennessee at plus 14%, Texas plus 13%, Arizona plus 11%, Florida plus 10, Colorado plus 7, Idaho plus 6. One thing of note is that a lot of the states with higher inventory levels are seeing some of the largest population growth due to immigration. New homes now make up 28% of total sales, down from a high of 34.4% in early 2022. But normal is around 10%. We're seeing the share of new home sales on a relative base to existing come down as we see more existing home inventory in the market. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for a new home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You just need to make the call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. So during that Mortgage Minute, I was telling you, do you want to know how to reduce your effective interest rate by a 1 full percentage point? Well, as a certified liability advisor, I can tell you that answer. Most people are not going to tell you the answer because they don't know the answer. So how do you do it? Well, it's real simple. So let's take a look at some numbers here. And I'm going to get this chart up on my screen because it's different for everybody. But let's just say that you took out a loan April of last year. And I think we looked this up last week, so I've still got some of these numbers around. That April of last year, and if I can get my computer to show up, I don't know where the heck my mouse went. April of last year, sometimes the computer just drives me to drink, and sometimes I like it that way. But we take a look and you see, okay, I'm going to do this on a small loan, and then if I can find the number, the get this thing working on a small loan, $184,000 loan. If you make, and that's at 6.25% interest. If you make a an additional $165 a month payment, that's going to bring your effective interest rate down to 4.22%. 4.22. So let's take a look and see if we do that on a $600,000 loan. And if we do that with a 7.1, which we said was what the rate was in April, and you want to get that down to 6% interest, well, how about making an extra $170 a month in your payment? Maybe it's $190 a month in your payment. That brings your effective interest rate down to 5.96. And it'll also cut about 48 months off of the duration, the amount of time you have to make those payments. Why do we figure this? Why does this happen? Well, the question always comes up, how long does it take to pay down 50% of a 30-year mortgage? And you'd say, oh, Ron, that's easy, 15 years. No, interest is front-loaded. So with interest being front-loaded, it actually takes 22 years, roughly, to pay down 50% of a 30-year fixed-rate loan. So when we take and do these things and we come up and say, okay, what if we make that extra $190, $200 payment? Well, you've got an effective interest rate that's going to come down and your payoff will be significantly quicker. And you can just see that within the amortization table as to how these things work. Now, is that the smart answer for you? Is that the way you should do it? I don't know. The answer to that is really simple. It depends. Because what would happen if you took that same $200 and put it into a investment vehicle that might get you 7.5% interest? Well, if you do that same thing over 24 months, that's going to have you $4,600 in appreciation. So think about that concept right there. How much quicker do you think if you're going and putting that money into a side account, how much sooner do you think that side account with compounded interest is going to get you to the point where you can say, okay, I want to just write a check to pay off my loan? It's pretty simple. That's how some of these things work, and you might get there a lot quicker. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, is a fixer-upper right for you? Yeah, we'll see. Building financial habits that stick. November smart buys and budget-savvy skips. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Is a fixer-upper home right for you? That is our subject today. Looking to buy a home, but feeling like almost everything is out of reach. Here's the thing. There's still a way to become a homeowner, even when affordability seems like a huge roadblock. And it might be with a fixer-upper. Let's dive into why buying a fixer-upper could be your ticket to home ownership and how you can make it work. What is a fixer-upper? A fixer-upper is a home that's in a livable condition but needs some work. The amount of work varies by home. Some may need cosmetic updates like wallpaper removal and new flooring, while others might require more extensive repairs like replacing a roof or updating plumbing. Because they need some elbow grease, these homes typically have a lower price point based on local market value. In fact, a survey from Storage Cafe explains that fixer-uppers generally cost about 29% less than move-in ready homes. And that's why, according to a recent survey, more buyers are considering homes that need a little extra work right now. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials, or the ABC News and Talk AM 1490, FM 98.1 video feeds, you are seeing a chart about more people are considering buying a fixer-upper. 56% of respondents would consider purchasing a fixer-upper to become a homeowner. 73% of those who would consider a fixer-upper would also do so because they want to purchase a home at a lower cost. If you're looking for an option to get your foot in the door and you're willing to roll up your sleeves and do a bit of work, a house with untapped potential may be a good option. Tips for buying a home that needs some work. Before you buy a home that may need a makeover, here are a few things to keep in mind. Choose a good location. You can repair a house, but you can't change where it is. Make sure the home is in a neighborhood you like, or one that with increasing property values and a growing number of local amenities. This way, even after you spend money fixing it up, the house will be worth more later. Budget for surprises. Fixing up a house can take more time and money than you might think. Make sure you save room in your budget for unexpected repairs or other unknowns that might come up while you're working on the house. Get a home inspection before you buy. Hire an inspector to check out the house. They'll help you determine the necessary repairs so you don't end up with extensive surprises later. Plan your priorities. When deciding what to tackle first, it helps to categorize your goals. Think of your home in three ways: the must-haves, essential repairs, the nice-to-haves, upgrades that would make life easier, and the dream state features, luxuries you can add later. This will help you prioritize and stick to your budget. Remember, the perfect home is the one you perfect after buying it. By starting with a fixer-upper, you have the opportunity to customize a home to your liking while saving money on the initial purchase. With careful planning, budgeting, and a little bit of vision, you can turn a house that needs some love into your perfect home. Real estate agents are great at finding homes with potential. They know the local market and can guide you to homes where smart upgrades can add value. With their help, you're more likely to find a house that fits your total budget and has room for worthwhile improvements. Bottom line, in today's market where the cost of home ownership can be intimidating, finding a move-in ready home that fits your budget can feel like a real challenge. But if you're open to putting in a little work, you can transform a fixer-upper into a real home over time. Give me a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Remember, hey, you can do that. You can get that fixer-upper, and there are home renovation loans that you can get. And those home renovation loans allow you to get a loan for the work that you're going to do. There's the cosmetic renovation, that's up to $35,000. There is a full rehab that can be significantly higher, and we can share all the details of that with you. Again, real-time real estate segment brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. I think we've got a Borrow Smart segment brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. November smart buys and budget savvy skips, making your dollar count this holiday season. As November kicks off, we're running one of the biggest sales periods of the year. The holiday shopping rush often starts early with retailers rolling out deals ahead of Black Friday. While it's tempting to jump on every enticing offer, a strategic approach can help you save significantly and avoid overspending. Let's dive into the best items to buy and the ones you may want to wait on, helping you maximize your purchasing power and keep your budget in check. Top buys in November. Number one is electronics. Black Friday is synonymous with electronic sales, but many retailers are now offering early deals throughout the month. Whether it's a new TV, tablet, smartphone, or smartwatch, you'll find plenty of bargains as stores like Amazon, Walmart, Best Buy, and Costco compete for your attention. Shopping early allows you to beat the rush and snag discounts on popular devices before they're gone. Number two, home appliances. Vacuums, air fryers, and coffee makers. November is a prime time to invest in appliances that make home life easier. High-end vacuums from brands like Dyson and Shark see significant markdowns, making it an ideal time to replace an old vacuum or try out a high-tech robot model. Air fryers and coffee makers also see deep discounts, giving you the chance to upgrade your kitchen without breaking the bank. Number three, Veterans Day perks. In honor of Veterans Day on November 11th, veterans, active military personnel, and their families can enjoy exclusive discounts at select retailers, restaurants, and even parks. Rack Room Shoes, for instance, offers increased discounts for military members, while Sports Clips provides free haircuts. National parks also offer free admission to celebrate the holiday. Items to skip. Number one is bedding and linens. As temperatures drop, you may be tempted to pick up new bedding. However, waiting until January's white sales could save you 50% or more at stores like Macy's and JCPenney. While cozying up this season is tempting, holding off for a couple of months could yield significant savings on quality bedding. Number two, winter apparel. While you might see discounts on winter coats, boots, hats, and gloves, prices on these items tend to drop even further as the holiday season progresses. Large retailers often carry an extensive stock and may discount items as they get closer to year-end, creating ideal conditions for savvy shoppers who wait until later in the season. Number three, specialty foods. With the holidays in sight, it's common to see beautifully packaged specialty food items on display. However, most retailers don't discount these items heavily until after the holidays. So unless you're in a hurry, it may be wise to wait for post-holiday sales to stock up on gourmet treats. Plan ahead and stay informed. Navigating sales during November is all about preparation and timing. Before making any major purchases, map out your budget and keep a watchful eye on prices. Websites like Caramel track prices on Amazon, while Slick Deals allows you to set alerts for specific items, making it easier to spot genuine discounts. Also, check a store's price match policy before you buy. Many retailers, including Amazon, do not match prices, while others may exclude certain dates from their guarantees. If you're buying before Black Friday, ensure the store has a solid return policy in case prices drop later. Making the most of your dollars. Smart spending doesn't just benefit your budget now, it sets you up for financial stability in the future. By making wise purchases and resisting impulse buys, you can keep holiday expenses manageable. Understanding how to navigate these seasonal deals and knowing when to hold back can have a lasting impact on your financial health. For more guidance on maximizing your financial opportunities, I'm here to help. As a certified liability advisor, I specialize in helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Whether it's navigating seasonal spending or planning for larger financial goals, I'm ready to help you make the best decisions for your future. That is the Borrow Smart segment, brought to you by rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. When we come back, Underconsumption, a modern strategy to take control of your finances and building financial habits that stick. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrnodebt.com, rsrnodebt.com. Underconsumption, a modern strategy to take control of your finances. We've all heard about overconsumption, where spending can spiral into debt, often fueled by the urge to keep up with friends and the latest products. But there's a new trend making waves that turns the tables on this mindset: underconsumption. This approach encourages you to spend with intention, helping you save more, manage debt, and ultimately build wealth. Today, let's explore what underconsumption is and how it might just be the key to reaching your financial goals. First off, what is underconsumption? Underconsumption takes a step back from the spending habits driven by constant consumerism. It encourages buying less, using what you have, and only purchasing items you truly need. Think of it as a mix of minimalism and traditional budgeting principles, but with a modern twist. The goal is not only to reduce spending, but to align purchases with your values. This trend has gained momentum on social media, where individuals showcase their journey of buying less as a badge of honor, shifting the focus from accumulating more to enjoying what you already have. Why underconsumption matters? The financial benefits of underconsumption are significant. By spending less, you can free up more cash to allocate toward meaningful financial goals, whether that's paying off credit card debt, saving for a down payment on a home, or building an emergency fund. Let's take a look at the potential upsides of this trend and some of the challenges it presents. Benefits of underconsumption. Number one, increased savings potential. The most direct benefit of underconsumption is the money you save. Cutting down on unnecessary purchases can leave more funds for what really matters. For instance, redirecting the money you spend on impulse buys can help you pay down high-interest debt or grow your savings faster. Number two, aligning spending with personal values. Underconsumption can also connect your spending habits with what you value most. Many people struggle to maintain a budget because it feels restrictive. By reframing spending around your values, you'll likely feel a stronger commitment to your goals. For example, if environmental sustainability is important to you, buying less not only saves money, but supports your values too. Number three, the new badge of honor in spending. In the past, spending less might have felt like something to hide, but underconsumption has reframed this. Now it's celebrated to live with less and save more. People are sharing their progress with others, building a sense of community around financial responsibility. The challenges of underconsumption. Number one, going too far. Like any financial strategy, balance is key. Going to extremes with underconsumption can feel restrictive. If you enjoy dining out or traveling, consider budgeting for these passions rather than cutting them out completely. Think of underconsumption as a long-term approach, like a sustainable diet, small adjustments that don't require you to give up what you enjoy most. Number two, finding your own path. Not all spending is bad. It's about finding where underconsumption makes sense for your life. If buying a new pair of shoes every year brings you joy and fits within your financial plan, it's okay to indulge. underconsumption should support your goals, not diminish your quality of life. Steps to embrace underconsumption. If underconsumption sounds like a fit for your financial journey, here are some actionable steps to start implementing it in your daily life. Number one, declutter your space and mind. Start by taking stock of what you already own. Going through your belongings can reveal duplicate or unnecessary items, helping you see where you have overbought in the past. This process not only clears space, physical space, but also sheds light on your spending habits. For example, organizing a cluttered closet may show that you have plenty of clothing, reducing the urge to buy more. As a bonus, it makes it easier to keep track of what you need and what you can skip on your next shopping trip. Number two, review your finances. A critical part of underconsumption is understanding where your money goes each month. Take time to review your monthly expenses and identify areas where you can cut back. It might be subscriptions you no longer use or entertainment costs that can be trimmed. A budgeting app can help by categorizing expenses so you can see where adjustments are possible. For many, seeing the actual numbers in areas like dining out or online shopping can be a wake-up call, motivating a shift toward less spending. Number three, prioritize needs over wants. Aim to spend only on items you genuinely need. Before making a new purchase, ask yourself if it's truly necessary or if an existing item could serve the same purpose. If something breaks, consider repairing it before rushing to replace it. When choosing where to cut back, start with big categories that offer the most savings potential. For instance, shopping around for better insurance rates could result in significant savings, whereas canceling a minor subscription might have less impact. Share your journey. Embracing underconsumption can feel challenging, but you're not alone. Share your progress with friends, family, or even on social media. Not only does this help you stay accountable, but you may also find support from others on a similar journey. Whether it's resisting impulse buys or sticking to your budget during social outings, sharing these experiences builds a network of like-minded individuals who would reinforce the benefits of this lifestyle. Bottom line, underconsumption can be a powerful tool for achieving financial independence and stability. By spending less than you earn and focusing on quality over quantity, you can make real strides towards financial goals like debt reduction, home ownership, and savings growth. Ready to start a strategic debt management? At Ron Siegel Radio, we understand the impact that habits like underconsumption can have on your financial health. As a certified liability advisor, I'm here to help you make informed decisions that align with your financial goals and values. Let's start building a path to wealth that fits your lifestyle, beginning with a mindset shift that encourages smarter, more intentional spending. By adopting underconsumption, you're not only saving money, but also taking an essential step toward financial freedom. Together, let's make those goals a reality. By practicing intentional spending, you're setting yourself up for success. Whether it's paying down debt or building wealth, every decision counts. Let's embrace a future where your money habits support the life you envision. That is the Your Credit Matters segment, brought to you by rsrnodebt.com. rsrnodebt.com. Let's see. I think that we have time. We only have a little bit of time, Josh? Okay. Josh says we only have a little bit of time, so I guess we're not going to get into these other subjects. Josh is saying good idea there. So he doesn't have as many things to try and scrunch in as he normally does. Let's give some stuff away then, Josh. Do we have time to give stuff away? Okay, so let's give away some stuff. Home Buyer's Guide, rsrhbg.com, rsrhbg.com. If you're thinking about buying a house this year or next, we put out a new Home Buyer's Guide every quarter, rsrhbg.com. The Home Seller's Guide, we put that out each quarter as well, rsrhsg.com, rsrhsg.com. If you're thinking about refinancing in the near future, now's not the time. I'll just tell you, unless you're going into the Home Select product, which any time is a good time for that one. If you haven't watched any of our videos on that, rsrhomeselect.com, rsrhomeselect.com. That's a good one to try and educate you on how you can really help your family. It's helping your family in a big way. And I'm going to be putting out a message to some of our private clients later today, just highlighting how good this program is and what it might mean to them, what it might mean to a family. And some of the topics that we talk about on here are, something maybe you want to let your house work for you. So the first question always is, how long do you plan on being there? Would you like to accelerate the payoff of your house? Would you like to get it paid off in 2, 3, 5, 10 years? I've never run a simulation yet that's been more than 10 years. So, and not having to increase the payment at all. That's the beauty of it. Would you like to have access to the equity of your home for more home improvements or maintenance? Maybe you don't want to make a payment every month. There are all kinds of options within the Home Select program. Yes, the interest does accumulate, but when you strategically deal with this, and you go back to our prior segment that we were just talking about, when we were chatting about underconsumption, boy, that's a biggie. When you talk about underconsumption, the Home Select program is just amazing. If you're not consuming as much as you had been or have to, that's a big, big factor there. So that's another one. And finally, if you are thinking about, there's 2 different programs we're going to put on the screen for you. If you're thinking about refinancing next year, well, you want to know what your number is. rsrlinks.com/what's your number. rsrlinks.com/what's your number. That's going to tell you, help you give us an indication. Where is it that how much money, dollars, not percentage, dollars that you want to save in order to restructure your home loan? And finally, rsr2step.com. Let's get rid of all that excess debt right now. And then we'll restructure again later when interest rates are lower. rsrlinks.com/2step. rsrlinks.com/2step. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. As always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your time with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.